essence of greatness is responsibility. Taking responsibility is a commitment to own your life, to self-leadership, growth and freedom. Good afternoon all. I am Professor Rashmi Shetty.
I am Professor Ravi.
Host for today's spinning ceremony, welcome you all to this momentous occasion. It is rightly said that great leaders are not defined by the absence of weakness, but rather by the presence of clear strength. Udhbhavam event is traditional feature of KLE's BCA Hubli, which marks donning the responsibilities to the students for their persistence contribution to the college in the form of members of the student councils.
Sometimes all it takes just a one prayer to change everything. Always pray to have an eye that sees the best in the people, a heart that forgives the worst, a mind that forgets the past, and the soul that never loses a faith in God. To make this our day blessed one, let us seek the blessings of the God. I call upon Ananya Aunty on the stage for the invocation song.
Thank you, Ananya Group. A beautiful smile is the best universal welcome. It can make the day a good day easily. To welcome the gathering and introduce the chief guest, I call Professor Sarna on stage.
Good afternoon, everyone. A warm welcome to all present here, respected chief guest, principals, and teachers and non-teaching staff, and my dear students. A special welcome to the chief guest of our day, Rakshit Kalyani, who is an engineer cum entrepreneur with an executive industrial experience in enabling growth across the automotive, aftermarket, edtech, and startup ecosystem. He is also skilled at marketing access, strategic planning, partnership, and leadership. He completed his master's in management and entrepreneurship from the University of Reading, Scotland, with a BE in automobile engineering, BUB also completed level 7 degrees in Strategic Management and Leadership from a Chartered Management Institution, UK. He worked for multiple companies like Mahindra Group, Cards, Think and Learn Private Limited, India. He has a co-founder startup named Being Adventurous Social Entrepreneurs in the UK. Among some of the prominent work, he was the youngest professional went to set up a record 40 plus franchises outlets across the Karnataka and Goa regions. He currently involved in mentoring the startups like EdTech, Automotive and the Deep Tech, a recognized mentor at the Startup India. He also been a business advisor for a few tech startups. Now I request Professor Sunil Varnekar to give a bouquet and memento as a token of gratitude.
Thank you, ma'am. Trees represents the age, the beauty, and the miracles of the life and the growth. To mark the new historical beginning of the KLEBC tradition, Udhbhavam 2023, let's call all the dignitaries on the dais to honor the ceremony. Thank you all. Nothing is impossible without a human, but nothing lasts without an institution. Now I request Professor Shadamulki Patil to speak about the KLE Society, our college, and also brief about the today's event, Udhbhavam 2023.
Good afternoon all. I, Professor Shadamulki Patil, stand before you to speak few words about our institution. KLE Society has a success story nearly 10 decades, speaks the dedication and commitments of thousands of people. KLE Society with 300 institutions spread across Karnataka, Maharashtra and Goa, each narrating their own amazing stories for enriching people's lives. Collaboration with universities with the US, UK and Malaysia has added a new dimension to the KLE Society. of Dr. Prabhakar Koreji, the KLE institution has reached its highest peak. Now, talking about KLE's BCA. KLE's BCA was started in the Department of Computer Science in 1999. Now, it has come up with its own wings in PC Japan Science College campus with more facilities for the students related to computers, and the department has highly qualified faculty members and excellent hardware and software resource. For us, education doesn't lie in the qualification of knowledge. It lies in the quality of knowledge that helps to form the character of students and enhance their skills. Speaking about Udhbhavam, investor ceremony is an important occasion with the opportunity to step into the leadership roles through the process of nomination, election and appointments. Students learn valuable lessons about responsibilities, accountability and decision making by taking on positions such as secretaries, house prefects and class representatives. Investor ceremony holds great significance in shaping the leaders of tomorrow. By this, I wish all the best to you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Sharda. Every moment is a golden one for those who have the vision to recognize it. They lead every child into the path of success with their plans for the future generation. Here we have one such dynamic personality on stage, Mr. Rakshit Kalyani, who is an engineer cum entrepreneur. I request sir to speak few words.
Thank you so much. First of all, thank you so much, Sunil sir, for inviting me. Thanks to the KLE Society for recognizing me to be the chief guest for today. It's a great privilege because I am the alumni of this particular society. I studied my automobile engineering from 2011 to 2015 and finished my automobile engineering. It so happens that I was once GS, the Automobile Engineering Association of students, and I was the founding member of BPP area, ABC, and it's so fortunate that I'm here today to see you guys on your future leadership journey, right? Thank you so much, sir. Thanks a lot for Ashwat for coordinating the whole event. Big thanks to the faculty as well. You've been actually very supportive to Deshpande startups. They're actually impact that we're trying to create in the minds of the students. Again, thanks a lot. I don't know, I look to kind of address you all. I've also started my leadership journey. Then I would like to actually bring in certain points. And everybody talks about leadership, but leadership comes from within. Nobody can actually tell you, what to lead, where to lead. It's all about your internal instincts, right? Something comes to your mind and you want to take that particular lead. So it happens in every part of your life, whether it is your subjects. If you want to read and get better scores, you have to lead your own career, right? So that's also a part of leadership. But I first of all congratulate all of you guys to take up this particular leap of faith on yourself and take up this tough journey of actually leading the whole student doing, right? Some of those final year students taking the general secretary role. I don't know what roles you've all got, but at least as far as my knowledge is concerned, class representatives, I see that there are house prefects, okay, and secretaries, of course, different types of secretaries, right? Cultural, sports, awesome. So congratulations, kudos to all of you guys. I know it's not easy. So first thing is you have to actually stand and campaign for yourself, get the votes from all the students, right? That's important. Next journey is where how you execute and be very sure of what you committed to these particular students and you deliver. That's the second part of it. So the journey starts from now on, or you might have already started that. Of course, it could be one of the places where we're just trying to acknowledge you and appreciate you for the work that you've been doing. Well, my journey actually, I was in Kannada mid school. I spent all of my studies in Athani, which is the border district, border taluka of Belur district. My father was a librarian, and in fact, I kept actually telling my dad. I mean, while I was in, I used to go to libraries. There are particular books kept in particular sections. So I used to just go take out these books, read, and keep it in some other places, right? So my father always scolded me for doing this, and he never let me inside the library at all. And until I kept these books at the right places whenever I used to next time. So discipline is very, very important, and there are certain things actually meant for a reason, and you're supposed to follow those rules and regulations. And as leaders, you're the first guys to actually follow that, and then everybody will follow you. So in the whole process, integrity is very, very important. So the other actually term which is very, very important in your life is integrity. So unless you are actually true to yourself, you can't be true to anybody else. Right? So that's very, very important. That's first learning that I had. And post that, I shifted to Dharwad for my next education. So I joined JSS school. I was the first student of JSS school. We had this school in a single shed area where JOC, job-oriented courses used to happen, the tailoring courses and all. So that's where the school began. Today you see JSS is actually one of the best institution in the whole North Karnataka, and they have multiple courses also. But then earlier it was only Kannada medium school, and that was in Vidyagiry. And I was the first student. I was so fortunate. There were only 16 students in the whole batch, and the first year, since I came from the Kannada medium to English medium school, so I had trouble actually learning English. So the whole time, teachers used to actually send me outside for not doing homework, right? I used to sit outside and just observe people. And over a period of time, what happened is I got into cultural activities, started playing sports because few kids were actually playing outside, and I went there because the teacher actually threw me out. So I had to go out and actually play with them. So realize that I can do something better, right? Not maybe in education, but also something else, right? So slowly, what happened is, I got into the school kabaddi team, created my own team. Then from there, my sports journey started. I started actually participating in holiday radios, music competitions, music shows. Then there were actually many programs that used to happen. So holiday radio used to come to the school and then record your talent and then host this in their channels. So I was part of all of that, and then in that particular 1 year, my education also improved. I don't know how it happened, but I also got the merit award on the same year, despite of being 75% out of the class. So this is just one learning. It can be different for other of you guys. You might have experienced this in your school level. You passed that, but nothing can stop you if you decide what you want to achieve. Right? So the second learning that I had. The third was actually I was able to get into a lot of social activities when I was in high school, which is between 7th standard to 10th standard. I was the youngest guy to become a house captain. I was in greenhouse, and the rules that the school also set up. So usually it is the 9th standard or the 10th standard guys to become the house captains. But it was my capability that I was able to actually, in one way, based on my action, right, I was able to influence the management. I am the right guy to lead the whole set of greenhouse team, and I led them for 3 years consecutively. And that was because of pure sheer action that I was able to focus on the ground, right? So action is everything. If you don't, everybody does the planning, but nobody executes it, they will not be recognized, right? So even you take anybody at the moment, right? Everybody talks about Modi. Modi is very popular. It has become a brand now, right? But why is he known for? What is he known for? It's not for the policies that he has created. It's the execution, right? So hence, you take any leaders in the entrepreneurship journey also. I've met a lot of entrepreneurs across the globe. I even got an opportunity to meet Prince Williams. In fact, my startup actually got sold to his society itself. So they're all actually sheer executioners. So until you put every plan that you put it on the paper, you don't execute, nothing will happen. Right? That's the second part. The whole journey also, kind of creates a lot of reputation, right? So every time you actually take up a responsibility, it also has some sort of purpose connected with it. So all that purpose has to be also aligned with your own personal goals as well. I never thought I can become an engineer at the early stage. I was doing my high school, right? But then eventually the leadership skills honed me. I was able to practice that for a longer period of time, and then actually come to a level where I can also in PUC, right? So I took up actually NCC because I was very passionate about army, defense. I wanted to get into Indian Navy. But then there was no, I'm in Hubli, right? So Hubli doesn't have a naval base, so I had to go to Kava, so I didn't want to do that. But I took up NCC Army. I was the first sergeant, the first year itself joining. I was a sergeant and then became a junior under officer. I also got selected to RDC. I was the governor gold medal in the past March, whatever you say. I also cracked NDA, National Defense Academy. For Pune, you have INA, Indian National Academy, which is for Army. That's in Pune. But then I didn't actually take up that because my mother actually didn't want me to go anywhere outside. Right? That's the sheer pressure again. The second level, right? Your parents actually always influence your decisions. I had to fall for the train. Then I after completing my entire PUC, I had to actually I wanted to take up BSc as my degree because it was 5 years course. 3 years is your BSc and 2 years is your MSc. If I take up engineering, 4 years I have to do engineering and 2 years I have to do MTech, right? So it's a 5 years time phase. So I thought anyways I'm going to get into teaching, but why should I actually take up engineering? So that was my fight. And I have an elder brother who's actually an engineer. He went to the same college, JSS. He went to the same tuition center. He was extremely brilliant, good with mathematics, 100 on 100. He was also some district top 10 rank holder. But I was not the guy, but I was like distinction, right? So 80% more than sufficient. The rest of the you spend time on your curricular activity, right? So that was very clear for me. So, but then my mother actually made sure that wherever my elder brother went, I also should go to the same place, right? So that was one pressure that I had. So my brother studied in BBB, and his ranking was somewhere around 1000 or so. So in my BU, I had to actually I also ventured into hockey as well. I represented Karnataka State as a hockey player. But I broke my ankle in the final match against Sai South team, and I was bedridden for almost 3 months. So I couldn't prepare well for my CET exams and final exam. So I scored only 56.83, and my CET ranking was 48,884. I'm not wrong. Sorry, 44,884 ranking. So it was impossible to get a seat in BVP. BVP, if you want a seat, it is below 5,000, and that too if you're a category, maximum is 10,000, right? So fortunately, I had a seat, from NCC category, and I was able to actually get the seat here. And my parents were literally crying, saying that we invested a lot of money on you, and what did you do? You ended up actually messing the whole career itself. Because 10th and 12th is very, very important to you, right? And I realized it at a very late point of time. So until then, I was very clear that hey, co-curricular I'm going to do and manage my education, right? So because of this one small incident, right, it just turned the whole thing. So fortunately, I got a seat in biotechnology engineering, and because my mother was actually crying, and the BSc seat that I got was a free seat from he's the current secretary for JSS, and he called me and said, "You are supposed to actually register today itself. I'm writing a letter to the admission department. You are going to be in our college itself because of the leadership that I have shown over a period of time, right?" And he had given a free seat. Not even a single rupee I'm supposed to pay. I told my mother that it's a free seat. Why do you want to spend 2 lakh, 3 lakh rupees in a government seat and then it put me into engineering, right? Then I spent first year of engineering. I realized that engineering is not so good because there was no engineering exploration course that now BBB is introduced. So there was no hands-on. There was only theoretical classes. So I ended up actually losing interest in engineering. So what happened is after the first year I was able to do well. So I wrote 9 pointers, 8 pointers. Because I knew that I did score less in PU, right? So I purely focused on education and concentrated. I was a class representative in the first year, and I had got access to teachers also, right? So the teachers will give you homework, that will come to you first. Assignments will come to you first. Right? You are the one who will distribute. Right? So that's a big thing, right? So it's a proud moment also on one side. So you are always treated better. So that was at least in my time. So that actually helped me a lot. So I used to study a lot in library, library, and then I used to teach other kids also. So what happened after the exams, right? I used to get less marks. What is that? I actually teach other kids and they are actually scoring well and I am scoring less. Then I realized I think there is some loophole, there is some actually flaw in the whole system. Then I go back to actually doing something what I am good at. Right? So I pursued actually getting into media. I was a photographer and a videographer. I also have certain short movies which are presented in International Film Festival, Goa. They also won an award. I also was the key member to actually do all the videos for annual event called Insignia. That's the Insignia is the name of the event, right? Annual event UB. So I was always the first guy that everybody used to come to me and say, hey, can you design a flyer? Can you design this video? Right? Everything we used to deliver day and night, sitting in the same cubicle, which is a small place below LNC canteen, right? So behind this. So I used to do that, spent almost 3 years there. During this journey, I had the opportunity to actually start up something of my own. So C-Time was started up, and there was a company called Cookie. Cookie became a 3 crore company in just 3 years of time frame. And he was one of my seniors who was also part of actually digital media. I got very much influenced by that particular role. So he said this is an area where there's a lot of opportunity, particularly for those guys who have leadership skills, right? And also not just that, but also technical things, right? The first year when I finished my C cycle is what they call physical chemistry. I had to get into core subjects. So I was in biotechnology, but I didn't choose biotechnology, but I took automobile engineering because what I heard from my seniors was automobile engineering is more lenient. You don't have to come to the classes. Okay, and your professors are also very lenient. But then what happened is when I went to the department, I switched my department. There's actually a call list that comes in based on your scores and the ranking level. So you can actually have the flexibility of changing the departments as well. So I chose automobile engineering. So I had the flexibilities. Now my entrepreneurship journey began from there. My first company was into called Clentech Solutions, which was into back-end software designs. So now I'm actually an automobile engineer. I'm doing something in software side, right? I have no clue what software is all about, right? And my aunt actually spoke to me. She's in Washington DC. She's one of the society leaders, and she said, "No, hey, I have a friend. I met him recently. He's opened a cafe, and they wanted this particular software. Can you guys do it?" She thought I'm a software engineer. My mother had told her he's doing engineering, but which engineering she did. So what happened is I had friends in SDM engineering. So I spoke to them, hey, this is the opportunity, can we do something? Then these guys said, hey, we can do it. So we do it. They were all in second year. Had no clue how to develop JavaScript website at least. And they started actually learning. We asked for 6 months of time frame. Within 3 months, these guys actually learned JavaScript, HTML, DBMS, HTML5. Right? Everything they studied, and then they started actually developing a preliminary prototype. And then we showcased this thing in within the 4 months of time frame, we showed up the initial prototype. The client actually loved the product. They said this is very flexible. Can you make it more UI friendly, right? So we started UI UX development. These guys actually did that also. In fact, the first product that we sold was actually only $100. $100, the whole website we sold. And what happened is, this guy actually, we didn't get any order, and we were also not serious. So $100, we thought, hey, let's happy. So we went to Goa sometime, enjoyed with that money, and then we were empty hands. We created this company, and there were a lot of actually, load on us. That I had to pay the compliances fees, right? GST, things like that. So we didn't know all that process. So we ended up actually spending a lot of money, and then we said, hey, we are now empty, what to do next, right? So we started actually talking to multiple people, networking, understanding how the software industry works, how the entire ecosystem works and things like that. Later on, what happened is the company that we sold this particular software, right? He started actually getting us the leads. He started showing this to multiple other friends of his who were actually singers, the community engagers. So they didn't have a website, and also some of the restaurants which are neighbor to them, they started liking this particular product and they started using this model. So now our actually demand started increasing. We started increasing the product value also. We sold at $500, $1,000. We nearly made around $100,000. $100,000 is a huge money, right? And then one person from the same network, he said, I want to buy your whole company. So he bought this particular company, and then we had a lot of money now. So we were in third year, right? So we spent this whole money traveling across India. What we actually did is, this time we were very sure, like we are not going to use this money for leisure, but we want to actually do some customization. We want to really understand how the market looks like. We want to talk to people and understand what their market looks like, right? So we went to Kerala, we spent a lot of time, we spoke to people. I went to Andhra Pradesh, few of my friends went to Maharashtra, few of them went to Uttarakhand, Delhi and other places. They just understood and talked to people, and we purely spent the whole of this money, $100,000 for only travel and talking to networking events, right? So that's all what we did. We spent all of this money, and then some of the money actually what happened is in between, my parents wanted to actually go back to the US and do their master's studies, right? So US is actually known for software and things like that. Then, and everybody went to do their masters, and I was alone. So I was my first job was in Mahindra First Services. The minimum criteria was actually around 70%. PU score should be 70%. And Infosys had rejected me because their criteria was 60%, and I knew software. I was the only software guy who knew engineering. They rejected me. I in fact actually went to Ashok Shettar sir and said, sir, these guys are not allowing to have interview. Ashok Shettar actually called up replacement officer, and then he said, sir, I also can't do anything. This is not my company. So Ashok Shettar he said, hey, you can do something of your own. And I was like, I waited. I went to actually off campus for Mahindra Group. They had 70% criteria, but then they actually interviewed me. They understood that I am a capable guy. They hired me without following the process. So if somebody actually feels that you didn't get a job, and if you think that their criteria is actually where you are not eligible, please don't hesitate to write to them. They may actually look at your resume, they may call you for an interview, and that all depends on what you've done in your whole journey, right? Extracurricular, GS, class representatives, house representatives. The more exposure that you get, the more you actually talk to people, right? That will actually be the life skill for you. So you will survive anywhere. Any company can hire you. Today I can bet you and say, any IT company, any manufacturing company, any organization wants to hire me, they can easily hire me. I don't have to give multiple interviews. In fact, I have the authority to choose which company I need to go. That's the power that you have if you get exposure and just talk to multiple people and understand the market very well. So all that I've done in my life, right, that was all the decisions that I took on my own. So leadership is all about louder. Leadership is all about still not confident, no? Are you all leaders?
Yes, sir.
Are you all leaders?
Yes, sir.
Sure?
Yes, sir.
So try doing whatever possible, try to contribute whatever is possible from your entire journey that you've got. It might be 1 year, it might be 3 years, but then do something for the community. It's very, very important. I stayed in the UK for 1.5 years. I contributed a lot to the UK ecosystem also. I was writing policy papers for UK government. I had one more startup called Diamond Adventures, which was into social entrepreneurship. We help scuba divers get the enthusiasts who want to learn about water sports. We sold it to Royal Navy. Now the Royal Navy actually uses this whole money for treating their retired naval wing. And that's actually the association that I had with Prince William. So we associated with the British Tobacco Club, which is owned by Prince William. Post that, my consulting journey started. I wrote policy papers. I came back to India before COVID, and then COVID happened. I also started working in that journey with Whitehead Junior to set up the Australia, New Zealand, and Singapore market as well. I helped by indirectly expand their international market, which was a big challenge then. I have been associated with Foundation, Deshpande Startups. I knew foundation was doing a lot of work from 2011, but I was disconnected with them. But this time I had chosen because my father actually opened up almost 100 libraries across the rural places, and that was unknown until he died recently. And his friends told me that he put in all his money and opened these rural libraries across these places, and that literally turned my whole journey. I joined Deshpande Startups and clearly changed my perspective and also my purpose, that unless and until I create the next generation of entrepreneurs, I am not going to sit idly. So today I actually lead the whole partnerships, and I also led a program called Youth Entrepreneurship Program across different institutions. We currently engage 55 institutions very deeper. We've already touched upon 120 institutions. We help actually students understand the whole journey of innovation and entrepreneurship. Nearly touched upon 50,000 students' lives, and nearly 50 startups have actually made a huge impact in the society. They are somewhere around $6 million of valuation. They are all from Hubli, Harvard, and Belgium. So Hubli, Harvard, Belgium have been entrepreneurial by themselves, and this is all because of the leadership that this particular city has provided. One example is KD Society. Nothing bigger than that, right? So one big thanks to them. This program has been probably because three cities there. And hence the same inspiration, same things we should also have. And my vision is actually to help at least 10,000 entrepreneurs in the next 5 years of time frame. And whatever is best possible from my end, I'm trying to provide. I'm also involved in Startup India, helping Northeast entrepreneurs, because that's something which is under touched upon by the government also. So I'm trying to help the entrepreneurs from that Northeast region to do something in the ecosystem, and also closely contributing to Karnataka Digital Economy Mission. Bangalore is saturated. We're bringing companies from Bangalore or across the globe to set up their base in Hubli. We've already done 10 companies, and more will be coming here. You don't have to look out for opportunities across Belgium, Bangalore, Hyderabad, or Mumbai. You have many companies in and around. I will also share these details to sir as well, so that you can start applying for internship opportunities and even for the job opportunities. We've also discussed certain plans of helping you upskill, pass this information to your friends and students. So, because you are leaders, you are responsible to actually communicate and what is best for your student community. Right? Try doing that. I've also actually discussed about the community engagement platform as well, which will help most of your students to actually get all the information at one single platform. It's also a startup. Do encourage startups. You also start something of your own. Please feel free to reach out to me. I'll be able to help you out. And thanks a lot again for the whole KMP Society for giving me this wonderful opportunity to interact with you all. And thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your enthusiastic journey and encouraging words. We hope our students will follow and inculcate your advice and enhance themselves growth. Leadership. Leadership is lifting a person's vision to the high side, the raising of the person's performance to the highest standard, the building of the personality beyond its normal limitations. We now have our young and enthusiastic students ready for the commencement of the investor ceremony. The investor ceremony symbolizes the welcoming of the individuals into distinguished students. To continue with this, I call Professor Udhbhavam on the stage.
Good afternoon to one and all present here. I think KD Society has made very good decisions prior, and one of the best decisions is calling Rakshit Kalyani sir for this function. Because whatever the secretaries list that we are having, I think Rakshit Kalyani sir has experience in all of them. Being a house secretary, being a general secretary, being a class representative, everything is there. Right? So leadership is not just about leading the team, it's also about guiding the team and guiding the team to the right path. So with this quote, I, Professor Ashwath Mupur, would like to announce the secretaries list for the Student Council 2022-2023. So first, I would like to call the General Secretary for the Student Council, Mr. Viresh Kurati. I request Professor Sundar Ashwat Kalyani sir to have the students. Congratulations, Nilesh. So, for the first time, we are also having Vice General Secretary for 2023-24. It's Ms. Yonita Portago. General secretaries take the responsibility of handling all the student councils. Now coming to the individual secretaries, first we'll start with the academic secretaries. We have Mr. D.G. Abhay as the academic secretary for this. Again, we have one more academic secretary, Ms. Pragya Shetty. Congratulations. Next up, we have the sports secretary that comes from the extracurricular activities. For sports secretaries, we have Ms. Aishwarya Patil. So one more sports secretary is Mr. Jayaprakash Patil. Next, coming to the events, which is the major part of this entire semesters. Right? For event secretaries, we have Mr. Guna Devarman. We also have Ms. Sanjana Goraj as event secretary. Next, we have ladies secretaries. For this, we have Ms. Sridevi Chikmat. And also we have Ms. Aishwarya Chichli as a lady secretary. Next up, to find out the talents hidden in our students, we also have talent hunt secretaries. I would like to call upon Ms. Pranjali Marathe as a talent hunt secretary. Next, we have Mr. Harshit Vaidya as a talent hunt secretary. Next up, to cover the media coverage of the whole college and for the whole events and all, we have the media secretaries. First, I would like to call upon Mr. Vishwanath Nargun for media secretary. Next, we also have Mr. Akhil Pramod as a media secretary. We have one more media secretary this year, that's Mr. Vandit Marudi. Next, we have to maintain the decorum and discipline of the entire campus. We also have discipline secretaries. Mr. Nikhil Raikar, in his absence, I would like to call our next secretary, that is Ms. Kavya K. As a discipline secretary, we also have Mr. Hemant Beller. Last but not the least, we have placement secretaries to coordinate for the placements for all the final year students. We have Mr. Darshan Habib as a placement secretary. We also have Ms. Isha Tiwari as a placement secretary. Thank you all. I would like to congratulate all the secretaries who just got pinned, and your roles and responsibilities have already started. I hope you will do some betterments for the college as well as for your personal growth. For the next set of pinning, for the CRs and the class representatives, I would like to call Professor Sonia Ji.
A very good afternoon to all. I request Akhilana to come on the stage. The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in yourself. Service of others. I, Professor Sonia, would like to take the privilege to call the class representative of the respective classes. I would like to call the CR of first year A1 division, Miss Danishwari. The class representative of first year A2 division. I call upon Miss Mansa, the class representative of A3 division. Now I call upon Miss Jyoti More, the class representative of A4 division. Now I call upon Mr. Meyer, the class representative of A5 division. Followed by Mr. Kumar, the class representative of A6 division. Now I call upon Viresh Rumbal, the class representative of third semester A1 division. Followed by Miss Purnima, the class representative of A2 division. Followed by Miss Sushma, the class representative of A3 division.
Mr. Suyo, the class representative of A4 division. Now, I call upon Miss Anjali, the class representative of A5 division. Now, I call upon Miss Aishwarya, the class representative of 5th semester A1 division. Followed by Miss Priyanka. Now, I call upon Miss Annapurneshwari Asumbi, the class representative of 6th semester A2 division. Now, I call upon Miss Akansha, the class representative of 5th semester A4 division. I request Professor Vishwanath sir to continue this further field.
Good afternoon, everyone. So next, I am here to call upon the house prefects. So I request Professor Shigeri Kuri to fill the filling ceremony. House name and the prefect is Ronshi B. Shah. Next, house name Nathan Aditya Miskin. Next, house name Delphi Vinayak Patil. The secretary is Vinayak Patil. Next, house name Crystal and the prefect is Hans Sanjay Jain. Next, house name Logo and the prefect is Rupa Shivani. Next, house name Ruby and prefect is Viskanti Bhattacharya. Next, house name Koval and the prefect is Harshvardhan R. Kandur. Next, house name Kasmi Aditya Shivasappa Karvasanwar. Next, house name Scala and prefect is P.C. Jagdish Torge. House name Prolog and the prefect is Sri Aikatti. Next, house name Rapid Vivo and the prefect is Soumya Anand Surguri. House name Apex and the prefect is D.B. Shima Nasir Ahmad Football. Next, the house name Haskell and the prefect is Shoaib Malik Vyapari. House name Autolis and the prefect is Ashita Nagaraj Sheikh. Next, house name Bash and the prefect is Vipul K. Jujar. House name Apache and the prefect is Preksha S. Next, house name Airline and prefect is R. Chandrika Aishwarya Pillai. House name Euphoria and prefect is Aman Sayed. Next, house name Pearl. The prefect is Anaga Anand Kulkarni. House name Bursha and the prefect is Shreyasri Vishweshwar. Next, house name Verilov and the prefect is Induja Hiyarman. And the last but not the least, the house name Smalltalk and the prefect Abhishek Anil Bacharali. Thank you, Professor Shridev B. Puri. Next, I will call upon Professor Vaishnav to continue with the ceremony.
A warm good afternoon to everyone. Success is not just a destination, it is a journey fueled by dedication, curiosity, and the relentless pursuit of knowledge. I request dignitaries present on the dais to please. Now, let us begin with the pinning ceremony for the toppers. From the first sem, now I call upon Ananya S. Naik from A1 Division. Followed by Purnima Hombar from A2 Division. Jayalakshmi V.S. from A3. Followed by Ananya P. Toki from A4. Spurti B. Katti from A5. From the second semesters, I would like to call upon Ananya S. Naik from A1 Division. Followed by Purnima Hombar from A2. Sunita I. Kakre from A3 Division. Ananya P. Toke from A4 Division. Gayatri DT from A5 Division. From the third semester, I would like to call upon T. Sushrita from A1 Division.
by Yogita Balangu from A2H. From A3. Sakshi Varmani from A5 division. From the fourth semesters, I would like to call upon Bhumika Gaudru from A1 division. Followed by Akanksha Naik from A3 division. Vamshi Kumar from A4 division. Last but not the least, T. Sushmita from A5 division. Congratulations to all the toppers who have illuminated their path with excellence. Thank you everyone. Have a nice day.
An ounce of performance is worth pounds of promise. Greatness isn't determined by the number of promises that you make, but by the ones that you keep. With this, I request Professor Sridevi Kuri to administer the oath. I request all the secretaries of Student Council to come forward.
Good afternoon everyone. Success never go away from you until you go away from it. I, Sridevi Kuri, requesting all the student secretaries to stand in your respective positions. I do solemnly take this oath that I shall faithfully represent the interests of the student body of KLEs BCA TCW Science College Hubli. I will do the best of my ability uphold, promote and support the goals and objectives of the college. I will serve as a positive role model, leader and voice for the students. I will strive to achieve the high level of expectation that goes along with being yes. Thank you all the secretaries, and I hope you do best with respect to your positions. I congratulate all the toppers, prefects, secretaries, everyone, all the students. Thank you.
I call the GS and the Vice GS to come on. I request Professor Sri Monica to give a presidential remark.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. That's a Josh. So after being leaders, you have to have lots of Josh. Respected chief guest of the day, Lakshman sir, who honored us by accepting the invitation at the shortest notice and immediately accepted it. And it's really wonderful having you here. Hema ma'am, my dear colleagues, our wonderful guests, saying something after the chief guest's wonderful journey information that he has given from school days to the current. One thing can be said, that when we want to become a leader, be a leader, innovate your own activity, inspire others, create innovations, and see to it that everybody has an opportunity. Our own opportunities have to be searched. It should not be like somebody gives you an opportunity and you go about working on that particular opportunity. That's what Lakshit said. Opportunities are at large available. They are there. The thing is, we have to find them and we have to go about working on it. So first of all, congratulations to the General Secretaries, Secretaries, Class Representatives, the most important, the House Prefects, who are going to be the backbone of every individual student under who they will gain confidence of building themselves. Because you are the builders for them, you are the motivators for them. The house mentor, the main chief, as your teacher, will be there to guide you and help you along the way. But it is you who have got an opportunity to create this entire environment. Finally, the toppers. You may be the topper of the class, but in real life, you have to achieve much better to be the topper in reality. So with this small briefing, I congratulate once again all the leaders. Have a wonderful journey of the academic year. Build yourself, build your friends, and ultimately see to it that you build directly or indirectly your college, your society. Thank you.
Yet it speaks volumes and volumes of hidden sentiments of gratitude within the heart. It is our duty to thank you all for your presence to this great event. Now I call upon Professor Rohit to propose vote of thanks.
Very good afternoon to everyone. It gives me an immense pleasure to deliver the vote of thanks for this event. I would like to thank our Chief Guest Rakshit Kalyani who have honored this function with his inspirational talks. I would like to thank our beloved Principal, Professor Sunil Vadikar, for his presidential remarks. I thank the coordinators who have graced this occasion, and I also thank faculty members and non-faculty members, students, for making this event as a grand success. Once again, I thank one and all present here. Thank you.